you're back.
There we go. Yep. Now we're back in business. Yeah. Again, Skype kind of turned off my mic for some weird reason. So, thank you, Skype, for that. But yeah, we're still okay. There we go. Looks like Andrew is done. Looks like it actually went to a full 3 games there.
Oh wow!
Because looking back, it was 1-1, and then so I'm kind of waiting to see who came out on top with the third matchup there. Now that they're coming into that, so we're going to see who wins.
Alrighty, so they haven't finished up yet?
No, it looks like they just now finished up. They just popped back in the chat, so I'm just going to find out the results.
All right, well, you're going about that, guys. I'm going to pull our calendar up one more time. You've heard me harp on this. You should know by now, in case you're new and you don't, Beta, Alpha, Omega Divisionals. We've got events for players of all calibers, Bronze through Grandmaster. And, of course, we're in their Alpha Divisional tonight. And we're actually giving you a bonus round this week. If you look at the May calendar, you should see we should be off tonight, but hey, Red Mage and I, we're not taking the night off, man. We're bringing you more events just kind of for the hell of it. We've got our King of the Hills on Sunday. Those are always going to be open. Our IG Cups every month. Looking at probably a $200 plus prize pool for our next IG Cup. We haven't officially announced the details of it, but I will go ahead and tell you that we have entered into a preliminary partnership with one of the biggest keyboard and mouse manufacturers in North America. They were involved in our IG LAN event, Steel Series. It's a pleasure to be working with them, so we're going to be expanding our prize pools once again. And don't forget all of our live events as well. We're going to be trying to do LAN events a lot more often, and next month in particular, we're shooting for June 28th is going to be our charity event. We're going to be working with Child's Play. You can check them out online, childsplay.org. They work a lot with bringing games and bringing some joy into the lives of kids who are in children's hospitals all across the country. And it's a real point of pride for myself, for Red Mage, and for everyone involved with itsgosu.com, be it SKS Dark, Mr. Mini-Me, Voss, all of us. It's a real point of pride to be able to work with that sort of a charity. So keep your ears open for that. We'd love for you to join us. You don't have to donate. We're not going to be begging money from you quite yet. But even if you just show up in the stream and hang out with us on that day, it'll be great for all those kids that we're trying to help out. So, moving in, Murloc's Zerg Bonjour. Going to be Bonjour here in our second semifinal matchup of our IG Alpha Divisional number 7, brought to you by itsgosu.com and by our sponsors, Hypocrite Games, Cyberground.us, Max Integration, and San Yamabushi Jujutsu and Combination Goju Ryu School of Self-Defense. You can find them at sanyamabushi-goju.com. So getting the ready check, about ready to get the countdown going. We're running a little late tonight, but that's all right. We've had time to discuss what's going on with the new Heart of the Swarm details that have been released. And any thoughts you guys might have in the stream, make sure you call those out to us. Hell, we like to interact with everybody.
Oh yeah, we definitely want to thank them, and we also want to thank Voss, Mr. Mini-Me, and SKS Dark for helping us out in the background. And taking care of all the brackets and such, so that way we don't have to deal with it, because we know how bad it gets when I have to do it, because I get distracted pretty easily, like saying squirrels, where I just start running around and just can't seem to turn around properly with the cone over my head. So we're going to be going into GSL Tal'Darim Altar in the second game here of the semifinals here. Murloc's going to be taking on Zerg Bonjour. This is going to be great. And, of course, Zerg is going to be a Zerg. He's going to spawn in the lower right-hand corner, coming in as our, I want to say it's like an orange. I guess that's the orange. Protoss. Oh, sorry, the green Zerg.
I was going to say, it's like, that's not even close to orange, actually.
Not even close, you blind sucker there. In the upper right-hand corner, right about the 2 o'clock, is going to be our orange Protoss Murloc. So fantastic. Ace, take it away before I just go crazy.
I have infected you with the mispronunciation of Protoss. I've finally lined it out for myself. I've called it Protoss since the Brood War days. I was like 12 years old when StarCraft originally came out. No one ever told me to say Protoss, so I just called them Protoss. They were the Protoss. Hey, Protoss Zealots, and all that fun stuff. And I caught a ton of crap from everyone I knew once I started casting a lot more. Tell Murloc rocks at the third is really what makes this different from the GSL version. But anyway, if you can type that in there to him, Remy, just put rocks at third. That should explain it well enough. But anyway, now you're the one calling it Protoss. So, but Zerg Bonjour, a guy that, to my knowledge, we have not had a lot of experience with. Murloc, I've seen somewhere. I think I want to say he's played in some of our King of the Hills. It's very possible this is his this is his second Alpha Divisional or something like that. But yeah, you know, Murloc's a guy I think we're pretty familiar with. And if I remember correctly, Murloc is a very... I'm trying to think how to put it. He's a very not 2-base Protoss player, but he's a very not aggressive early Protoss player, if I remember him correctly. And I guess I'm going to because either your mic went out or you're busy.
Yep.
But
no, well, I was responding to somebody in the chat, and then all of a sudden my my microphone stand broke and slapped me in the face.
Oh, that's
so
good.
That was kind of interesting. So give me 2 seconds while I try to fix it.
Not a problem. You handle that, my friend. I can call the action. Murloc going to be getting the wall up here. He's not going to be going for a Forge Fast Expand, opting instead to wall right outside of his main. On Tal'Darim, I'm not the biggest fan of this. If you're going to wall, I mean, the difference between, in terms of distance and what you have to put together to make a wall is not that different here than it is up here. And really, given the space and size of this map, you're kind of just remiss for not Forge Fast Expanding. Forge into Stargate is just so very, very strong. Zerg Bonjour, though, he's looking like he's maybe thinking about a 1-base build. He's being very, very slow to get up his second hatch. Now we're going to see, yeah, the probe's there to try and maybe throw down a pylon, but really no sense in it now. The drones are going to arrive. Looks like, nope, he's just going to run into the base and allow the hatch to go down. He knows the delay has been there already. Coming back, but not going to throw down the pylon. Instead, just going to head on back home. So, pretty standard stuff out of both players, tied up about as close as you can be. Still not the biggest fan of Murloc, opting to not expand quicker off of this. You know, it's just, you're really sacrificing so much potential for your mid-game and late game, especially your mid-game, by not trying to get the Forge Fast Expand up on a map of this size. It's just so easy to plant 1 or 2 cannons and be able to defend, but instead 3 gateways up right now, 2 gas, so likely you'll see an expansion forthwith after some sentries are churned out, or maybe even a robo go down. So how's that mic stand treating you, buddy? You back? You ready?
It's still giving me some problems, but I'm good to go right now. I kind of fashioned a little, Rube Goldberg machine here to keep the mic stand from hitting me in the man bits. So we're gonna hope that
you wear your man bits on your face.
It was I had the microphone pushed up so I could type on the computer, but when I hold the when I do the casting, I have it right in front of my face, and
right.
if it goes, it hits the man bits, and that could provide a very interesting commentation, really, for the studio audience. But I'm sure they don't want to hear me yelp like a little girl.
Right. So the Twilight Council finishing for Murloc might be favoring the Blink. Blind Blink, no, DTs, Dark Shrine going down immediately, so not even going to try to hide it, just going to rely on the fact that the mains really are so large. I'm a little surprised he hasn't tried to hide it off to the edge, at least, of his main area here. The Overlord for Zerg that he's going to be trying to use to scout at some point way off, so he's more than likely not going to be able to spot it before it finishes, and ooh, this could hurt. He's actually taking a 3rd expansion immediately, going to be very thin on tech and very thin on units by the time those Dark Templar arrive. The lair is about a quarter of the way done now, though. So it's really going to come down to his instincts. And at this point, you know, you've got these Zerglings hanging out. You're seeing sentries and a couple of zealots, and you're seeing what seems to be no real intention to expand in a timely fashion. You've kind of got to be thinking, okay, DTs or something. Blink is what I would probably be guessing. Blind Blink on Tal'Darim Ultra so strong. The Nexus going down now, but the just going Blink blind really can be so strong on Tal'Darim Altar, and I've lost to that as all kinds of races before, so he's got to have that at least in the back of his head and be cognizant of it. And it looks like he may perhaps be just assuming DTs because he's getting straight up to the lair. Still not a hell of a lot of units. Droning very, very heavy. 7 drones on the way, and now here come the first DTs, so they're going to be warping in right at this pylon outside of Murloc's main. And he's still just going to hang out, I guess. Are these defensive DTs? Is this the DT expand? Not even going to be aggressive with him? There he goes. Yeah. Now he's going to send him out.
I was going to say, yeah, you really ought to move in with those pretty quickly.
Yeah, no Spore Crawler down yet, so Spine's going down, but no Spore the Overseer's there, though. and it's going to be kind of a time game. He's going to have to try and get in here and do damage while he can before these spines finish up. The Army just non-existent, literally, here for Zerg Bonjour. He's got a handful of roaches, but that's about it. DT's going to arrive. The spine crawler is about halfway done. They're going to be spotted by the Overseer. 2 are going to be heading for the main. 1's going to be heading back into the natural, so he's not going to be spotted back there. Going to be able to go to work on the drones. The other 2 going to make it into the main, and now the Overseer's got to try and choose which one she wants to go after. The roaches being fired upon. Now here comes the Overseer, going to lose those 2 DTs, but the 1 DT in the natural still going to work and just laying waste to so many drones. He's got 11 kills, so he's killed approximately 500. Actually call it 600 minerals worth of drones at this point, and very effective harassment here out of Murloc, even though he's quite a bit behind in supply. He's now got the Forge up, he's now got the Robo on the way, and he's going to be sitting quite pretty.
Oh, yeah, I like how he's still looking for it, too. He's looking for where that 3rd DT went. It's there, kind of hanging out in the corner, and he walked by it like several times, but I guess it's just enough out of range. Yep, now he's going to see it, and he's going to finish it off. But I thought that was funny. It would have been the perfect time for him to go ahead and pull back and go right back into the mineral line and just start hacking stuff up, or at least hiding him back in the main or something, taking him somewhere else to really cause some problems later on.
Well, Zerg Bonjour's choice to get up that 3rd hatch is really paying dividends for him. Despite losing all those drones, we can see he's not just in the lead in terms of workers, but in an immense lead already. 13 workers to the 13 workers up, I should say, to his opponent, 52 to the 39 of his opponent. So Murloc, really, that was a decent little opening, but it did a good amount of damage. It just, I think Zerg's choice to get the 3rd hatch really benefited him there. I'm pretty sure, yeah, we'll take a look real quick. Yeah, Murloc didn't even spot that 3rd hatch, has no idea it's even there. So he probably thinks he's in a much better position than he is. And really at this point, it's just kind of the ball's in Zerg's court. All he has to do is just make the right decisions and not delay too long. He's getting kind of dangerously close to that. He's in the lead, but now we see the support bay, or excuse me, the robotics bay. I'm still living in Brood War days when it was called the support bay. But the robotics bay on the way, so Colossus is going to be around pretty soon. But this is a decent little roach count. You know, we're talking 25 roaches here. Or, excuse me, that's completely wrong. 19 roaches here for Zerg, and he needs to start getting active with them. I'm not liking the fact at all that he's just turtling back.
Yeah, he definitely needs to be doing something with them. You know, when you have that kind of an advantage economically and army wise, you know, I'm sure he's got to be aware at this time that he's just a little bit ahead, and now he's getting that burrow. That's going to do a whole lot for him here, and now you see him moving out to the center of the field. Now this is a pretty good army right here. You know, he's completely negated any sort of the DT advantage that Murloc had. He's got quite a few roaches, a couple of Zerglings there, just enough to cause some havoc with that. You know, and again he's going for another expansion, so he's doing a great job and taking as much map control as humanly possible. That DT making its way now into that natural 3rd area, going to go bonkers in that supply in that worker line.
Oh yeah, so he's going to lose a few workers here. The 4th base almost complete. The roach is all going to be pulled back, but I really think, I mean, just look at the supply count. Zerg Bonjour is way ahead. He's got more money than he can possibly spend at this point. He's already up to 155 supply and beginning to tack on more and more roaches, getting up the Hydra Tech, which is a good call in general, but I think he really missed a brief window there. There was a window where he really was in such a commanding lead, and his opponent had invested so heavily into getting to the Dark Shrine that he could have counterattacked and probably just locked the game up immediately. Instead, Murloc, despite being at such a deficit, I mean, we go back to the income tab, we see 50 harvesters to the 76 of Zerg Bonjour, so he's way behind in economy, he's way behind in army, but he's going to have the Colossus out, and Colossus change everything in PvZ.
Oh, yeah, because you'll be able to just ultimately decimate all those land units that he's going to have. You know, he's really going to have to either go for the aerial mutas, or he's going to have to, or continue to tech up to get corruptors.
Yeah,
and
well,
that's going to be a long hike right there. He's at the cap right now, so it's not like he can reconfigure his armies. He's going to have to make several pushes to limit
Murloc
that army down.
Has been really slow in getting out these Colossus. He's got one done. He's going to move over to try and deal with this. This is such a gigantic number of roaches. So good force field is going to literally cut that army in half. Now it's going to be up to Murloc to handle this correctly. Immediately, though, the Colossus target fire down. The reinforcing Colossus on the way, almost there. Hydras and roaches being made back home for Zerg Bonjour. Not going to fall too far behind in the cap, and yeah, this is going to be GG, I think. I was talking about how Zerg Bonjour, I thought, had missed a bit of a timing, but he just really sprinted from 150 to 200 in a matter of about 45 seconds. That's really going to make the difference here. So, yeah, and this is the danger. Anytime, especially when we cast not necessarily our alphas, but especially our betas, the worst thing you can do, if you're a Protoss player and you feel safe on 2 or 3 bases, and you're just like, well, that's fine, I'll just sit back and macro my way to Colossus off of 2 bases against the Zerg player, you're asking for a loss. You cannot allow a Zerg to sit back and macro comfortably, because we saw no aggression outside from Murloc except for that initial DT rush and then running 1 DT into that 3rd base about, at the 12-minute mark. You got to do more than that to get in the Zerg's face, otherwise this is what's going to happen.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that. So you've got to force that Zerg to make offensive defensive units and not make drones. That was the problem, is that he made all those drones, and even though he had gone through and wiped out a bunch of the previous drones, that really did very little to warrant to wave off Zerg's approach to getting up to that 200 army so quickly.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. So we're going to see, let's see, I can't even remember the player's name. Jesus, I'm an idiot. Zerg Bonjour jumping out to a 1-0 lead over Murloc here in our second half of the semifinals in our IG Alpha Divisional number 7, brought to you by Itsgosu.com. I'm AC, that's Red Mage JR, and it's a pleasure to have each and every one of you here with us. Thanks for joining us in the Justin.tv chat. Thanks for hanging out with us in the BattleNet chat. Make sure you go to Itsgosu.com and you check out all of our events. Go ahead and pop that calendar up for you. We got so much going on, 20 events a month, $2,500 in cash and prizes being given out just April through June. We're heading into the last month now of our 2011 Spring Tournament Series. Our 2011 Summer Tournament Series is going to kick off in July. We're going to be having more events, more prizes. This calendar is going to get a lot more full with a lot more colored little boxes for you. I have absolutely no doubt. And that's largely thanks in part to you guys coming out to the stream, hitting like, hitting follow, and hitting tweet. If you can do that now, if you haven't already, I love you forever. I'll dance at your friggin' wedding. I'll get nice and hammered off of your open bar. And make sure you have something funny to have on your wedding video. So,
yeah, we'll be those guys.
Yes, dude. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, I'm in the mood for a Shiva blast. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it.
I'm gonna do it.
If anyone out there has not checked out the League yet, yeah, Red Mage introduced that to me. The League might be one of the best television series ever made. Oh my God, it's so funny.
Yeah, it's a very, very good series. Yeah, and I introduced you to that when you were hanging out here. And we just wanted something. We wanted something fun to watch after working a long weekend trying to get some of the kinks worked out here for the stream. And we just needed something funny. And I was like, hey, you got to check this out. And boom.
Oh, it's so good.
Check out The League. It's absolutely hilarious. I don't know if they've canceled it or if they're bringing it back for a 3rd season, but it was an FX program. You can see a couple of episodes on Hulu. If you have Hulu Plus, so
oh yeah,
definitely check that out.
Honestly, I'm not a big TV guy. Like I watch a good number of HBO series and all that stuff, but generally I don't watch that much standard television, especially on channels like FX. But for real, guys, no joke, you need to watch The League. It is so friggin' good.
Yeah, and honestly, I didn't even want to watch it because it's a football, it's a fantasy football movie, or the way they advertised it was a fantasy football kind of movie, and I was like,
series, it's a TV series.
I'm not a huge football fan, or like a professional football fan, I should say.
Right.
So but watching just I actually bought the Archer DVD, and it had the first episode on there, and it was absolutely hilarious. And I bought every single episode on my Xbox just to watch it.
Oh yeah.
So.
And that's the thing. It's one of those shows where it's like the subject matter's almost irrelevant. Like, it's not about fantasy football, just about a group of best friends that are completely dysfunctional and they're kind of jerks, but they're really funny about it, and about them just being competitive over something. It doesn't matter what the hell it is. It could be over friggin' Pinochle and it'd still be hilarious.
Yeah, because those guys do a great job. So kudos to The League, and there's our unsolicited pimp product for the evening is go out and buy The League on DVD, or I think you'd also get it on PlayStation 3 or Netflix and stuff like that. So, and again, you can watch a couple episodes there on Hulu. I do recommend. I think out of the 3 that are on there, I do recommend watching the what is it, the wedding anniversary party, the anniversary party.
Oh, that's so good. That's one of the better episodes. And not to mention, I mean, if no other reason, the league gave us the phrase or the term vaginal hubris. And any TV series that introduces that into Western nomenclature, I'm going to be behind and I'm going to be pipping out. So Zerg going to be getting up his spawning pool here first, not going to be going hatch first. He likes to play safe. He rode that to some pretty good success. And Murloc, I mean, just to be honest, Murloc just kind of got steamrolled. I mean, and I guarantee that coming out of that loss in that last game, Murloc, it's one of those games I could just tell by looking at it, because I have tons of them, where you feel super duper comfortable up until the moment about 20 seconds before you type GG. Like, you feel like you're ahead, and then the moment you realize you're not ahead, you've already lost. It's one of those kind of games where you have to go back and watch the replay to figure out how you lost. But either way, he's going to have to be, have that bad feeling and feeling like he's got to change something up. And again, opting to do a little bit of a one-base play here, not going to be trying to expand too quickly at all. And you can't really fault that, given that his opponent's going spawning pool first. But really, against the Zerg player, you got to get your second Nexus or Command Center up pretty quick.
Oh yeah, and that's going to be the trick to this whole thing, is make sure you don't fall behind economically as fast as you did the last time. Now, Zergs have to go with the second hatchery as quickly as they can to get the number of units out. But oh, okay. Whew. I'm really scared there might be a glitch out there for Zerg.
No. Nope.
But he's going to have to expand a little bit faster. He's going to have to have a defined build order and not rely strictly on those DTs. That's on a map like this, you wouldn't do DTs. You would honestly, go with the 4-gate like you've always said. Go with the 4-gate, but he's going to have to stay up on that macro and up on that expanding. We see him getting that Stargate right now. Looks like he might be going for some Phoenix.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of this at all. And again, it's not to say that this is bad or that he's making a mistake. He's not. Just one base Stargate is really, really chancy. You're really taking a risk and saying, okay, because at this point you're doing it blind essentially. And yes, you can get the initial Phoenix out to scout. That's all good and well. But you are sacrificing so much in terms of where you want to go eventually to deal with a Roach Hydra army. Going up to Stargate, you have to invest in the Stargate. Now you've got the Stargate. What are you going to make out of it? You're going to get a Void Rays, or are you going to make Phoenixes? And then, you're not on Robotech. You're nowhere near Robotech. You're behind. So every moment that you spend, good job there by Murloc, sniping down that Overlord that was trying to peek his nose in, but he's going to get a Void Ray. So, and by the way, I always like to point this out to maybe some players who aren't aware of this. If you ever happen to be scouting, like with an Overlord, and you see a Stargate that's being chrono boosted, or even just making a unit, if you just zoom in, you can see the outline, the silhouette there of the unit it's making, and that actually changes depending on what's queued up. So, in most cases, like if you float an Overlord over a barracks and you see the lights flickering, you don't know what's coming out of it. But for the Stargate, for the Protoss, it's a bit different. But see, this is what I'm talking about. He's on one base, now he's getting a Forge, now he's got 3 gateways, so he's got too much. You really can't support 3 gateways and a Stargate off of one base. You just can't. So now he's going to be wasting production time. He's going to be down the wrong tech path to deal with mid-game Roach Hydra. And, it's just so chancy. He's got to do a lot with this Void Ray. Otherwise, he's going to be light years behind his opponent.
You're exactly right there, AC. And right now it looks like he's just kind of doing the simple things. He's not looking to do anything complex, but that's going to be his downfall right now. He's trying to get a little too cute with that Void Ray, but
what's he doing
in the Phoenix? But
I have no idea what he's doing. He's being inactive. He's got 2 Void Rays out. What are you going to do? Expand behind the blistering power of 2 Void Rays? It's one of those things where it's like, oh yeah, but Roaches and Zerglings can't shoot up. Doesn't matter. If he just makes 50 Zerglings, he's going to go win. He's just going to run in and kill everything. It's irrelevant whether or not they can shoot up or not, because your Void Rays can't kill them quickly enough. So Murloc being free to expand at the moment, but again, there's only so much usage he's going to get out of these units. And, Zerg's going to lose something here. You can tell he's not prepared. He doesn't have anti-air other than these queens, but he does have a decent number of queens. He's got 4. So he's going to have plenty of queens to deal with this, at least in the meantime. He'll probably lose like an assimilator and a couple of probes or something. But, especially with the low Phoenix count, only 2 Phoenixes, 2 Void Rays. it's not to say that he can't make this count and pay off, but he's really going to have to work hard to do it. So he's going to move in. Everything's going to be spotted. These queens are going to go to work on the phoenixes. Phoenixes pick them up immediately. So they're going to have to pull these over. 2 more queens coming in, though. Going to be able to take down at least almost one of those. Now all 4 queens going to work. He loses 1 phoenix. Now he can just go to work on these. Good micro there. Walking forward, and every time he's going to be able to get one of those void rays. And yeah, now all of a sudden Murloc's miles behind. He doesn't have a robo. He's got 3 gateways. He's got a forge that has been inactive and has done nothing but allow him to build no cannons. So that's why I'm just not the biggest fan of one base Stargate. If you want to fast expand, do something crazy like Nexus first or even Nexus after Gateway, fine. In fact, if you're going to forge fast expand, you need to follow it up with a Stargate. But yeah, he's just behind now, and I don't know what he can do to jump back in it. Yeah, and you see right now that Zerg trying to take out the destructible rocks right there. He's already put down that 3rd base. More than likely, he's going to go up and take the gold. He might as well, because it's not like Murloc's going to come back and try to spike him for it. He's just now getting that robo. He's getting yet another void ray right now, and the other void ray and the other phoenix aren't doing anything right now. You're just kind of leaving them back at the base. That's not going to do you a whole heck of a lot of good. Right, and that's what I'm talking about, and that's kind of the habit, too. Void Rays are great in PvZ, don't get me wrong, but they're late mid-game, early to late game units. You need the Void Rays to deal with Brood Lords, you need them to deal with Corruptors, etc. And yeah, this is Zerg's playing brilliantly right now. He says, you know what, I know you invested a crap ton into that attack that did no damage, so I'm just going to double expand and dare you to stop me. What are you going to do, come at me with your 3 sentries, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 stalkers, 1 void ray, 1 phoenix, and a probe? I mean, is that what, it just, at this point, Murloc, if he leaves his base for a moment to try and get aggressive, Zerglings are going to run in and kill every one of his probes. This roach count here is more than sufficient, pretty much, to deal with this. Yes, the void rays are there, but the 2 void rays are just not very scary. Right, and honestly, he just needs more bulk, not more, not prettier units, but bulkier units to be able to handle whatever Zerg is going to throw at him, because again, right now he just worked in a couple more stalkers, but he just needs something that's going to tip that balance, because we see that the overlords are dropping creep now in all the other expansion areas, excluding the gold, and that creep is starting to spread across the map. So this is going to be a huge advantage. Now Murloc is going to go ahead and come out now, seeing that 3rd base is down. Doesn't see the 4th base. It's just behind him. It's just now about to pop. He's looks like he's going to go and try to take that 3rd. Oh yeah, he's going to push down here, so we're going to have to see if Zerg can respond in time. He's got a good number of roaches here, actually a very good number of roaches, more than 24 of them. So, the Void Rays, again, now that they're charged up, he's going to kill that hatch. That's a victory in itself. Some decent force fields, not the best, though. Delaying the inevitable. Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. Okay, he's got Void Rays. He's doing good damage to these roaches, but it doesn't really matter. He's going to kill off every one of these stalkers. Now he's going to run away. Okay, now he's going to run away. And now he's probably going to go counterattack. The queens are going to be enough to deal with this eventually. Yeah, here comes another queen wallowing her big ass down. We see the transfusions going down on the queens now. And he's going to be able to split these up, to come at him from 2 different sides. We see 1 Void Ray almost dead. And I'm a little baffled. Yeah, now the Void Rays are forced away. So not to say that's a terrible attack. He did kill that 3rd hatch. But, I mean, again, he's actually further behind now than he was when that attack started. Zerg beginning to push out across the map. He's got a great creep spread. He's already past the halfway point. And Murloc's going to have to do something brilliant to try and get back in here. Yeah, and now we see that the spires are just about finished in the next couple of seconds, and that's really gonna change the entire outlook of the game there for Murloc, because once he goes air, there's not much he's going to be able to do, because those stalkers are going to be easily just thwarted by the roaches. The Void Rays aren't really going to be able to do enough, and then that Phoenix is all but screwed. And one of those Void Rays is down to 16 hit points. Right. And it's just going to get roasted. Now we see Hydralisk coming out. Yeah, this is really just a one-sided thing right at the moment. And no Colossus. Because he went Stargate early, he has no Colossus out at all. Yeah, he's got no Colossus. Now he's going to have to try to kill off this Overlord to recede that creep, so he's going to be at least 40 seconds behind getting down that expansion right there. Now, he did do a good job there by killing off that Overlord. He did cause him to be supply blocked, but that's only going to last for so long.
he's at 1,700 something minerals. He doesn't have a whole lot of anything else on the board. He's only got just the five gateways, the one robo and the one Stargate. He's just now getting a second Stargate. He really should go for the Bay and go ahead and get the Colossus to deal with all those Zerglings, all those Roaches, and things like that.
Well, the Hydralisks are really why you need the Colossus. You cannot deal with a Hydralisk army with nothing but gateway units and Void Rays or Phoenixes. You just can't. I mean, it is baffling, almost startling how much damage Hydralisks do. So we're going to see Murloc moving out. He's going to take out this expansion over in the corner. But yeah, this is the bad news. All of a sudden, we're going to see Zerg react. He's going to catch this army completely out in no man's land, and he's going to be able to just go to work on it. Going to move up the ramp. Look at that army, how big. So many Hydras there. The Hydra count really good, about 24. Overthinking things a bit there, I think, backing up. And, yeah, this army here of Murloc is just going to just watch it melt. Every time he gets off one volley, a big group of units dies. The Stalker's not going to be able to do anything. Those Void Rays going to be helpless as hell against Hydras. Yeah, now, I mean, really, what can Murloc do at this point? He's at half the supply of his opponent, warping in a few more Hydras. But, yeah, Zerg's just going to be able to walk up here and A-move his way to victory.
Yeah, I mean, Murloc did have the Harvester advantage at 54, but right now, that's not going to pay a whole lot of hill of beans.
The Void count, pretty decent now. It's up to about 7 or 8. But, yeah, as soon as the Hydras turn around and start to go to work now, you're just going to see these continue to die. These Voids may actually allow him to hold this off for the moment, but again, his ground forces are completely eliminated. We see more Hydralisks being popped out now by Zerg. Zerg's still up on 3 hatcheries, so he has the ability to remake his army much quicker. The Roaches need to be target firing down this Nexus. No, there we go. Now he's got them all turned in the right way. And yeah, see, this is the problem. The Voids, yeah, they're going to do good damage, but when you have, now he's lost his second Nexus. He's mining off of one base that's mined out, actually, so he's not even mining at the moment. He's having to move all of his probes over. This Nexus is about a quarter of the way done. He has no income whatsoever. And in the meantime, Zerg is able to, Murloc just going to call GG. Good call there, I think. So nice to see the good manner there with the happy smiley face, the colon B. And we got our final set. Going to be Zerg Bonjour taking on VP Minotaur.
VP Minotaur.
Once again.
Right, again, Glee.
Yep, Glee going to be competing for his possible 3rd championship here in our IG Alpha Divisional number 7, brought to you by itsgosu.com.
Certainly there, AC. Make sure that you do go to itsgosu.com and see all the upcoming events that we have. Covering more than StarCraft 2, League of Legends, Heroes of New Earth, Super Street Fighter 4, Marvel vs. Capcom 3, Dota 2 when it ever comes out, and Mortal Kombat, and hopefully many more to come after next week's E3 announcements there for all of esports. Make sure you're tuned in to itsgosu.com. Also, Facebook and Twitter, because we'll be letting you know anytime new stuff comes out for esports. Not all the the new Call of Duty and the Gears of War. We're not worried about that, because that's not what we do. But any sort of really cool stuff that's going to be coming out for the esports community, we're going to make sure that we get all the information we can as quickly as possible.
Oh yeah.
And that is the best way to stay in touch. Follow us on those devices. If you go to itsgosu.com, it'll automatically have the little buttons at the top. Just hit them right there and type in your information. You're solid. You're good to go. And again, don't forget, we were having a contest there, our Magic the Gathering contest there, to win the special edition Planeswalker Collector's Edition cards. If you could name any of the 3 movies that AC and I have referenced for the entire evening, send your. Well,
you got to name 3 of the movies we've referenced. Not any of them, not any one of them, but.
Yep, 3 of them.
Yep. And have you been keeping count? How many have we done tonight?
We've done 5.
5? Okay, so we're cutting down a little bit. First night we did, 17?
17.
Yeah, and we got inundated because everyone in the world just got it within 3 seconds, because in the first game alone we gave out 5, I think, so. But we've got our final set. Going to be a best-of-5 series. Going to be starting out on Terminus RE, my favorite map in the pool. A great map to start out on. VP Minotaur, who is our twice-defending Alpha Divisional champion. A guy who has just been ripping through the field, taking on our upstart challenger. To my knowledge, this is his first time in any of our events, Zerg Bonjour. And the first prize is going to be 1 hour professional coaching with DC Land number 5 champion, Revolution of Team Revoki. So we're getting the countdown in. We're heading in. Gonna be some fun times. ZVP action. Your favorite game or your favorite matchup, Red Mage?
Oh yeah, love this matchup, ZVP. Not for any real reason, but because I'm such a simple man. I like to look at all the pretty, the little pretty portraits and all the really cool stuff that's going on. So. With those, and again, I got to see my mothership portrait yesterday. Totally happy with that. Love to see that. And of course, she pointed out the Banshee portrait when she goes from regular to cloak. She puts down the bag over her face because she's not as hot as the medic.
The medic looks like the fat welfare mom in her sweatpants, man. She's got on like the baggy clothes, like the Mickey Mouse sweatshirt. I mean, come on.
I don't know. I get a kick out of a woman and a woman hero, that loves to swoop in. She's got the battle armor on there, but she has a little bit of helmet hair. But I'll forgive that.
A little bit of helmet hair.
Cool. It's gonna be no problem. But she's gonna be pretty hot getting out of there. I mean, she's got to be in shape. Hauling that stuff around.
Come on, man! You're a military kid. You know how in shape pilots are, so you know that Banshee chick is just tone. She is just tone. She's stacked she's built like a brick shithouse too, man. I mean, I left you speechless. Actually, that was a good comment. So left you speechless. I made you stutter. Excellent.
It absolutely. Well, I was gonna say if you could reference what I was going to give kind of it away, but if you can reference the movie that was the opening theme song that was sung by non-humans, I'll give you credit.
Okay.
Brick House.
Okay. I think I know. I'm pretty sure I know.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you should. And it was also where somebody was wearing an invisibility spray.
Yeah,
and,
I do know.
And went to the bathroom and came out and washed their hands so you could see their hands. And they were asking why you do that. And, well, Mom always said when you get done with the bathroom, you wash your hands. Not when you're wearing invisibility spray.
Right. I'm pretty sure I know. So there's another one for you guys. We're up to, I think that makes us 6 or 7 at this point. So
6 or 7 at this point, yeah. So so again, just reference 3 of the movies that AC and I have mentioned tonight, and send that to contest, and it's gosu.com. And you can win yourself some limited edition Magic cards distributed by our martial arts sponsor. I'm not even going to bother to mess up their name because it's only going to be angering them.
San Yamabushi. Let me see if I can do it. San Yamabushi Jujutsu and combination Goju Ryu School of Self Defense. There we go.
Wow, there you go, right there. So those are the guys that actually gave us the Magic cards. They were special edition Planeswalker cards that came out of the 2010 New York Comic Convention. That was the only place to buy them. And that they're cooler than the regular Magic cards because they actually don't have all the Magic jargon all over it. They have like a little Magic the Gathering thing on there, and the rest of it's like a big solid picture. So it's pretty hot. So they're pretty awesome. And some of those cards, if you can get them, they're not in every single pack. They're the rare cards. If you can get some of the rare cards, I've seen them go for as high as $120.
Exactly. So it's like a scratch-off lottery ticket almost. It's like
exactly.
Imagine you could go to the store and for free, all you'd have to do is just listen in for a couple hours while watching awesome StarCraft and pick out 3 movie references. It'd be like getting a scratch-off movie ticket that is worth at least or a scratch-off ticket, I should say, not movie ticket, but a scratch-off ticket that is guaranteed to give you $15 cash at the very, very least, and could possibly give you a couple hundred. So, definitely get that. I'll make sure that you also include your Justin.tv screen name or nickname or whatever you want to call it, because you have to be a follower of us on Justin.tv to win as well. So, anyway, Minotaur has gone for the Forge Fast Expand. Couple of Zerglings going to be able to sneak by, maybe pick off a couple of probes here. It doesn't even look like Minotaur's even that concerned with it. They're going to move on into the main. Not going to be seeing much. All he needed to see was already there. Being annoying, going after the probes in the gas. That's so annoying because then you got to try and get them back in. I hate that.
Yeah, it's always funny to go for the gas ones too because, like you said, you have to reselect them and put them in the gas. It's not like you just click a mineral field and have them be done. But no, yeah, that is definitely a great pseudo BM kind of move there. So. Oh
yeah, if you're gonna be annoying, be as annoying as possible. And to quote Day 9, and I love this quote, it's like if your opponent, if you have something done to you by your opponent and it annoys you and makes you infuriated, that's probably something you're going to want to do to another opponent down the line. So these Zerglings still being very annoying. They've got their little wings now. They've been drinking their Red Bull, who actually Red Bull was a sponsor for our LAN event over the last weekend. So,
they were very cool guys and guys and girls, and came out and gave us all free Red Bull. It was nice of him.
Yep, so Red Bull gives you wings, I'm going to guess. That's why these little Zerglings are still so annoying. And but yeah, still going to work here, but I do like the fact that Minotaur unabashedly Forge Fast expanded. He's having to deal with some Zergling harass. But again, on a map this size, you're actually going to be behind as a Protoss if you don't do this. And it really kind of forces the Zerg player's hand. Whenever you successfully fast expand, wow, look at this drone count. I just noticed this. Is he not transferring drones at all? Holy crap. He has got so many drones in his main, and he has not transferred hardly any of them. Now finally pulling a few, but definitely needs to pull a few more. But
yeah, it looks like he's almost at 32.
Yeah,
24.
Oh, he had so many. Yeah, he had well over 30 drones just here on these mineral lines, or on these mineral patches in his main. But anyway, it forces the Zerg's hand in that, you know, if a Protoss one bases and doesn't go kill his opponent pretty early, he's got to continue to hit the Zerg in the face, otherwise he's just going to macro up to 200 and get there a lot faster and win. If a Protoss fast expands, it's kind of on the Zerg to try to take control of the match, because a Protoss on 2 bases early is one of the most dangerous things in the world, because they can pick the funkiest timings in the world. They can try to hit you with just a 1 Colossus Blink Stalker mix. They can try to hit you with a 2 Colossus Charge Lot mix. They can try to hit you with a Mass Sentry mix even earlier than that with no Colossus at all. So the Zerg player really has to be on the defensive against a fast expanding Protoss.
Oh yeah, and you know, right now we see that he does have a little bit of a window in the wall there to allow his units to come in and out. And I can't wait till we switch to the SE version of the map.
Oh,
so
I know.
keep that in mind. If you're going to be competing in our events starting, I think we're taking next week off, but I think the week after we're going to start putting in all the SE maps for tournaments. So that's going to have the rocks there by the third expansion there, so your opponent will be able to get around any sort of back end chokes like this. You're going to have to start choking your base off a little bit farther or a little bit nearer to the front of the dog leg. I completely lost track of
what you were
the English
saying.
Language for a few seconds. Yeah, like I was trying to. Well, what really caught me was I was sitting here boxing it in on mine and realizing that it doesn't matter.
Right. Well, it's like
the camera.
Oh, it's you and I both. I'm not cracking on you. I had a ton of them at our LAN event. You know, we were casting for working for well past the 12-hour mark. For the LAN event over the weekend, and towards the end we both started to get kind of goofy. You like the way it was working was I was controlling the stream and I was the cameraman and the running the stream while Red Mage there. We had a flat screen set up so all kinds of people could watch live. And we actually had a big crowd of people watching live as we streamed our semifinals and finals and all the way through the tournament, etc. And he was acting as if like he forgot that he was commentating into the stream, so he was like staring at blank patches on the on his map trying to make points into the stream that nobody live could hear. So it's just like the live people are just like, oh my god. But
you're missing the action. And I'm like, oh, sorry. Several times.
It's all right. It takes practice, man. It takes practice. Minotaur getting a little bit froggy now, planning that pylon out, continuing to creep up with these proxy pylons. Don't really think he's in a position to push right now. He just doesn't have the personnel. He doesn't really have the upgrades. I mean, he's got the 1-1, but with a force this small, you're going to need better than that. If you really want to hope to do damage. And 18 roaches just about to hatch now for Zerg. And Minotaur, he's really taking this third Nexus. I don't like it. I just don't. He's, again, trying to race a Zerg player to 200 when you're not really being aggressive and hitting him in the face, that's not how you're going to win. And now we see that these are upgraded roaches. They're going to burrow. Oh, this could be terrible. They're going to burrow right into the middle of this, pop up. Oh, no, actually, he's got the observer there. Still, he's going to pop up with everything in range. Force field's not going to accomplish a hell of a lot at this point. Going to lose a ton of his forces. Bonjour, now he's going to burrow and walk underneath. Love that move. A few little extra damage going off, but these sentries are going to run out of energy soon. There can't be a whole hell of a lot left in the tank. More roaches on the way back home for Zerg Bonjour. Minotaur kind of falling apart right now. A little bit of miss micro, just walking his units around and taking some damage. But yeah, I think Minotaur in taking that third Nexus really kind of screwed the pooch a bit. That's fine if you want to do that under some circumstances, but when your opponent is going to race to 200 and start battering down the gates and all you're going to have is stalkers and sentries, you're going to be in trouble.
Oh yeah, and holy free holy, is this going to be a devastating force here for Zerg Bonjour? if he can get to 200 first, he is going to be able just to kick in the front door and just ultimately just bash Minotaur in the face several times over. This is, I think, probably the toughest that Minotaur's had to face today. With this kind of thing, because usually, in the past couple of games, that is not to say anything bad about anybody else that's played against Minotaur today. Just Minotaur has just this way of just irritating you into pulling your force out a little too early or sitting back so much that he can dictate the course of the game.
17 Hydras are on the way, by the way. I just want to point that out.
That is ridiculous.
What's bad about that is there's no Colossus. If you're going to deal with Hydras, we've already seen it. To deal with Hydras, you have to have Colossus. Colossus tech is not even on the map right now for Minotaur. He opted instead to take that third Nexus, and I think it's going to end up costing him the game unless he pulls out a miracle victory in this incoming battle. Now Zerg's at 200, Red Mage, so we're going to see some fireworks.
Oh yeah, and now we see that two hatcheries are going down as well. So they're just going to be adding into the build up there. And Minotaur is supply blocked now. Completely supply block. He's not going to be able to get anything out now for several seconds here. So all Zurich has to do is now just go in and basically take him out now before those reinforcements can get in. 3 emergency pylons going down right now.
Yeah, I mean, really, there's just no way that VP can deal with this. I mean, look at his army. It's basically Hydralisk bait is all it is. Force fields are going to allow him to hold this off for a little while, but, the production capabilities of Zerg Bonjour right now up on 5 hatcheries just going to be too much, and these sentries only have so much energy, so here we go. The bulk of the force moving in now. Some decent force fields going to cut off a good chunk of Roaches and Hydras in the front, so they're going to fall, but the Roaches, the big tanking, heavy-hitting units are going to be able to burrow underneath, get a great surround. The Hydra's just picking off and doing so much DPS from a distance. The Roaches, there it is. So VP Minotaur, uncharacteristically, going to lose the first game of this best-of-5 series. Zerg Bonjour up 1-0 here in our IG Alpha Divisional number 7, brought to you by itsgosu.com.
You're absolutely right, AC. That was a great matchup right there. Finally seeing Minotaur or Glee on the losing end of an attack. That was absolutely amazing. We have not seen Minotaur really take a beating that bad since he had to interrupt the tournament to go watch Glee that first night, and we just railed him for quite a while, and then we were put to basically put in our place when he kind of went 3-0 in the finals and all the way up. So I'm really looking forward to see how he's going to respond to this. This is like one of those situations where is he going to go ahead and intentionally hit the next batter, or is he going to be able to pitch like a no-hitter here?
Exactly. Yeah, I got to admit, we knew Zerg was a strong player. We casted him once already, but he just kind of had VP's number. I mean, to be blunt, that wasn't even really close. I mean, VP just kind of got rolled in a very convincing manner, so he's going to be looking to pull things back to even as we move into the second game of the finals here of our IG Alpha Divisional number 7, brought to you by itsgosu.com, and of course brought to you by our sponsors, Hypocrite Games, Cyberground.us, Max Integration, and San Yamabushi Jujutsu in combination Goju Ryu School of Self-Defense. You can find them at sanyamabushi-goju.com. I'm AC, that's Red Mage JR. Thanks so much to every one of you hanging out with us in the Justin.tv stream and hanging out with us in the BattleNet chat. Gonna have more action on the way, more ZVP. Zelnaga Cavern's gonna be the site of Game 2.
Oh, yeah, and we're going to come in, we're going to see here at the top right-hand corner, that's going to be our VP Minotaur, our reigning champion with the Alpha Divisionals, coming in as the Orange Protoss, and down on the bottom left, our newcomer, our upstart coming in with the green Zerg down there, the lower left, taking 1-0 away from Minotaur, who has pretty much gone undefeated most tournaments that we've had.
Yeah, he's won the last 2 alphas in a row, and not just one. Like, if I'm not mistaken, didn't he go 3-0 to win each of the last 2 alphas? It may have been.
Yes, he did.
Well, it was either 3-0, 3-0, or 3-0, 3-1. I think he may have lost one game in the last one. I can't remember exactly, but
I believe there was some sort of like bunker rush or something like that, or a cannon rush or something. But yeah, no, that was absolutely brilliant of Zerg, and a lot of people were commenting on the great burrowing. Yeah, that was fantastic burrowing. If there's any, I've not seen a better way to burrow unburrow like that in my life, and that was absolutely amazing.
It was great play out of Zerg Bonjour, but I'm holding to my guns here. I think what really was the turning point in that game was Minotaur deciding to get too greedy. It's so tempting to take that third Nexus or that third base on Terminus RE, especially just because it is so easy to take and defend because we are on RE instead of SE. But again, if you're going to fast expand, you have to. If you're going to fast expand and then try to out expand a Zerg opponent, you're going to have to be using warp prisms or DTs or something to mess with the Zerg over the course of time as you get all three of those bases up and running. Instead, he just decided to take his third Nexus and just try to sit back and race a Zerg to 200, and that's never going to work. Ever, ever, ever will that work. So, it cost him. He didn't have Colossus out on the field. That battle would have gone completely differently if he had skipped that Nexus and had just 2 or 3 Colossus on the field when that attack arrived. I don't think that Zerg would have walked over top of him and won at that point anyway.
Oh, yeah. And really at the end of that brutal assault right there by Zerg, he's just standing in the middle of the Coliseum. Are you not entertained? And yes, we were. We were very much entertained by the.
This is not why you are here. Are you not entertained? Did you ever see, by the way, after GSL March, that picture of OGSMC after he just rolled over July Zerg?
Yes.
Oh, God, that was so funny. I may have to try and track that down. It's one of the funniest pictures I've ever seen. If you're a fan of Gladiator and you happen to watch GSL March, when OGSMC won his second GSL, he became the first multiple champion of in StarCraft 2's short esports history in Korea, and he 4-1'd one of the most legendary names in Brood War play and in esports in general in July Zerg. And not just 4-1, but like embarrassingly 4-1. He actually slash danced the Zealots in Game 1 as he was winning. That he built a bad manner Nexus in his opponent's base as he was winning like Game 2 or 3. So I mean, it was just disgustingly bad. And less than a few, just a few hours later, up on Reddit showed up this image of OGSMC's head photoshopped onto Maximus's body with the caption, "Are you not entertained?" So it was so good, but little Zergling pressure here, and I can't even call that pressure. Just being annoying, doing their little slap against the building, making sure they grease up one wall just to lower the property value.
That's right. You just gotta dink the fender a little bit there before fingers can really get a hold of you. And
exactly.
I mean, honestly, I think he's just trying to get the run in right there. It's a nice wall in right there.
Good force field. Oh yeah, gonna be able to handle these off. And little moments like that. That's one of those things that's like he would have been just fine if he hadn't done that. That's not like anything that that's about 100 minerals wasted there for Zerg. You don't want to waste minerals at all, but it's not like that's a big deal. But anyone who plays StarCraft, whenever you pull something like that off, you just kind of go, "Yeah, I'm a badass." It's like that's the kind of stuff pros do, and I just did it. I'm awesome. I'm going to Korea.
That's right. You just get a little bit more of a pimp lean going right there.
Oh, exactly.
Where you going? While you're listening to Ronald Jenkins.
I'll tell you, people hate these supply depots, don't they? Why do they kill them off at the bottom of the ramp?
It's a power thing. Get that terror off the board.
Well, Zerg easing into things. He's got his roach worn up fairly early, as always. No gas down here at the expansion. Only one guy mining gas back home. So just, this is the exact build he did. He's done in all of his other matchups with that spawning pool first. He's quite comfortable doing it. The Forge and the Pylon down for VP Minotaur. I'm not the biggest fan of SimCitying this way, where the Pylon is really the money, the money building, trying to hold off any sort of run by, because it really can just be target fired down so easily. But whatever. We'll see how well it works out. And, it's kind of odd to see Minotaur playing so slow. I mean, Minotaur tends to be we've talked about it. He likes a lot of 2-base push. He's not a 1-base push kind of a guy. He doesn't 4-gate that much, and he doesn't all in terribly much at all. But even his mid-game play, he tends to be more active on the map than he has been in the finals so far.
Well, I think getting slapped in the mouth will really ring your bell a little bit there, and cause you to come back from the edge just a little bit. We do see that Zerg is going to go ahead and send out a probe now. A drone, and possibly go for that third. Yeah, he's going right there to that third base. He's going to take the sunken third, and this is what he's been doing great for the last couple of games that we've casted of him. He takes that third, takes that fourth, and just Waffle stomps the Jesus.
Well, he's just got such good
opponent.
game sense. He uses those Zerglings to poke in the front, and it's one of those small things that you really just gain through experience. You know, he'll run a Zergling in, maybe, and he'll lose it. But he'll go, okay, I just saw 5 sentries, 2 zealots in this, and I saw the Forge was making something. And he just has the game sense to know, it's like, okay, I'm safe. You know, it doesn't matter what he's planning to do. I know that he's probably, 9 times out of 10 not going to attack me, and if he does, I can hold it. And he's making such good decisions. Taking the third here is what he needs to do. Minotaur obviously isn't going to be moving out anytime soon. And, the timing of that fourth, like we saw on Terminus RE, was based on his opponent just walking up to the map. He got to look at his composition, said, nope, he can't crack me, no problem. I'll just expand.
Oh yeah, and now we see that Observer coming out, and he's gonna see the great creep spread that Zerg's been throwing down right now. He's gonna be able to observe that this army is nice, and I'm starting to understand more and more this umbrella of overlords that people put in there, and I think it's cool. That every time I see it, I'm always like, why are they just hovering over there? And you just see this just wall of spit just come out, and nobody can target fire down what you're doing because you just have everything all nice and tight. And I think you did see that shimmer of the Overseer, because now he's starting to take down the rocks of the gold. I think he's trying to trick his opponent into some early aggression. And yeah, there you go. We see Minotaur coming down right now to take out that sunken third.
Oh, yeah, he's going to go to work here. I'm not sure how this is going to match up. It's going to come down to force fields and control. The Zergling's going to run in a little preemptively, going to bait 2 of those force fields off, though. He's definitely going to lose this third hatch, so a big loss there for Zerg. He split. Nope, okay, never mind. It was a pathing issue. I was going to say it looked like he was splitting his forces up, forcing a few more of these force fields. He's trying to bait without. He's going to lose half of his roaches. A little bit of a frustration move there. I think he was mad that he lost that third. He should not have tried to push down the way he did right there. With that kind of sentry count, he's got to know these sentries have been around for a while. They've got a ton of energy, and he needs to just hold back right now and just write that off and say, okay, that base is gone. I'm not going to lose any more of my units.
Yeah, and that's exactly what you need to do. You just need to wait for him to pull back out, and then you just go ahead and double expand. Go right into the gold and go right back into that third, and just say, blah, ha, ha.
Right, he's definitely got the money, and he's once again very far ahead in supply. And I'm just, it's odd. Usually Minotaur is so strong. He's a little late on getting his Colossus out right now. 12 minutes. That's not terribly bad. He's supply blocked. That's part of the reason. But he just looks very thin, and in fact, when you look at his army composition, he is very thin. He's only got 9 stalkers. The sentries are really what are going to be the strong part of this mix, having 6 sentries, almost all of which have full energy. Now he's going to try and expand again, and I hate this. He does not need to be expanding right now. He's behind in a lot of ways, and I think we're going to see exactly what happened last time. Zerg's going to be able to just explode to 200, and even though that extra income from that third Nexus is going to be essential, despite that, it's not going to kick in time for him to beat back Zerg's eventual push.
Oh yeah, and just like I don't think it's fully. Yeah, he's not even fully saturated on his first phase. He's not completely mined out of his main. He could stand to pull a couple of those out of his main and move him down into his natural. But yeah, he just doesn't have enough to really warrant this. And again, in comes the Spire, in comes the Hydralisk Den, and he's finally getting the Colossus with the extended thermal lance upgrade. But I don't think I still don't think it's going to be enough. We now see the double expansion, just like we said. He's going to go for the goal, go for the second, third.
Yep.
And now he's spending a ton of money on getting tons of photon cannons up.
Exactly, and that's just a waste. Photon cannons are not going to help him deal with it, and especially at this third, okay? If you lose this third, it's a bitch and it sucks, but as you pointed out, he's not anywhere near mined out here at his natural. He's getting kind of low back at his main, but he's still in decent shape enough right now. And if you're going to move out, why would you take this instead of the gold? If you're going to move out and you're going to force yourself to take a third expansion, take the gold in this situation. That way you're going to have the extra income to make up the deficit faster. And we're beginning to see exactly what we were talking about out of Zerg. He's springing forward, 6 Hydras on the way, 9 more drones to saturate the gold, so he's going to have the income and the larva production, the Hydralisk upgrade on the way. And, he's just going to beeline to 200, and VP Minotaur is going to be right about probably 165, maybe 170 supply when Zerg hits 200. There's going to be a big clash, and if Minotaur even manages to hold it off, you're just going to see Zerg back up to 200 in about 60 seconds.
Oh yeah, yeah. Now is what we got to do is he's got to put some drones into that extractor in his main. It still has 0 on it. It just needs to get double extractors down in that third, and just try to get more gas for those mutalisks that he inevitably wants. Oh, there he is going for corruptors. Even better right there. That'll easily handle any sort of a Colossus push. But yeah, I'm right there with you. He should have taken the gold. If you're going to spend all that money on all those cannons, just take the gold and just line it with tons and tons. Cut that entire side off with cannons.
Right.
Well,
make it worth the investment. If you're going to invest into having faster mineral production. Don't invest into a third that you really don't even need at this point, given his harvester count. His harvester count now is kind of up to where it needs to be, 63 to the 79 of his opponent. But when he was building that third, he was sitting at about somewhere between 35 and 45 harvesters. Not even enough to fully saturate the 2 bases he already had. So... And, maybe we're being a little too rough on him. I think when Minotaur goes back and watches this, he'll know it's just because we're so familiar with him. We can pick at him because we know he should be playing better than he is right now.
Yeah, I think he's just upset because there was no Glee on tonight. I think they had their season
threw
finale.
him off. He actually has to play with testicles now. He actually has to behave like a man tonight instead of making up an excuse to go watch Glee and blaming it on his girlfriend.
Yeah, because we all know that's fake. You don't let somebody make you watch Glee. You go watch Glee because...
Right. Well, I'm going to be honest with you. Looking at this composition now out of Zerg, he may have overdroned. I think he did, actually. He's at 200, and this is not that imposing of an army whatsoever. And,
he's got 80 harvesters.
Right.
That's a ton of harvesters.
That's a bit too many. Especially now, we see the 4 Colossus here out of Minotaur. He's got the blink. He's up to a decent stalker count, so he's the one who's actually exploded here. But and this is the danger that all Zerg players run. It is, I understand that Zerg are supposed to be the macro-oriented race, but look at his minerals. 5,000, 1,000. Okay, you don't need that many. I mean, that's fine. It's great that you have them in the bank. You've got the trust fund in case you knock up your ex or whatever, what have you. But really, it's this is not that imposing of an army. It just isn't. 24 plus 16. So, yeah, I mean, he's got a pretty good roach count. He's at about 40 roaches. He's got the corruptors up to about 10. But every moment he sits back and allows Minotaur to continue to close the supply gap, just, up to 5 Colossus now. And so long as he uses sentries and force fields and controls this correctly, he's going to be just fine in dealing with this, I think.
Oh, yeah. What Zerg really needs to do is just take 10 to 15 of those harvesters. Just make spine crawlers or spore crawlers. Just make something.
Right.
Put them at the goal just to defend, just to have them. And again, that's just the way that you do it because you can't really suicide.
All right, here we go. Zerg going to push right into the third here. He's going to be turned away by the cannons, but he's showing his hand. He's showing his composition. VP Minotaur knows the attack is probably going to be coming soon. The upgrade's a little bit late here for Zerg. That's a little surprising, actually. The +1 to missile attack and Carapace just now going down along with the glial reconstitution for the roaches. So here we go. Nope, changed his mind. Stuck his nose up there. Didn't like what he saw. Going to pull back to his own creep. And I think maybe he's beginning to realize that he may, as much as he's going to love having an economic advantage, 8,000, 2,000 is not the economic advantage you want to have because that just means you're wasting supply and you're wasting time and effort.
Right. You're exactly right about that. And just, you see that, the hatch that he has there on the right-hand side, he's just really just going to use that just to make units out of at a high speed. We'll wait till more things happen, but we see that this army is starting to make its way now into Minotaur's forces.
That is one brave little Zergling. You see that? Chasing the whole army back.
He's leading. It's like, you're scared of me. The Mighty Mouse of
here I come to save the day. Anyway, Minotaur really in a good position at this point. He's even tacked on some Void Rays to his mix, and in the same way that Minotaur missing, hold that thought. He's going to move in. The roaches going to be caught off guard at using the move command. Great force fields go down. The view of things a little bit obstructed by the corruptors, but the corruptors dying pretty quickly to these Void Rays. And wow, this entire army seems to have just melted for Zerg. Minotaur taking some losses as well, but immediately replenishing on the side of Zerg. And this is where things get complicated because the Protoss he's on a clock in a manner of speaking. He knows his opponent's going to be able to replenish. He's got 8,000, 1,400 in the bank. He's got tons of larvae saved up back at home. Roach is now moving in a little helter-skelter, coming coming in single file. Not the way he wants to handle this. Needs to be rallying those back and bringing them in all at once. Instead, he's engaging in little pockets of units that are being rallied in. But the damage is being done. We're seeing the Stalkers die. The Colossus count, though, completely untouched. 6 Colossus still raining down death and fire. Back down to 161 supply. The larvae a little bit exhausted. There it is. He actually called the GG when he had a crap ton of roaches on the way. So probably, I think he missed his mark. He should have pushed earlier. As soon as that Colossus count got up to 3 or 4, he missed his timing window, and VP Minotaur able to pull the series even 1-1 here in the finals of our IG Alpha Divisional number 7, brought to you by itsgosu.com.
Certainly there, AC. Yeah, some serious action going on here between these two opponents here in the finals of the IG Alpha Divisional number 7. Now we're going back to Terminus. Really kind of a cool, selection there, because he wants a little bit more map room. You can tell. And that's really what you got to go for.
Did you say we're going back to Terminus?
Yeah.
No, we're not. We're not allowed to repeat maps.
Oh.
So that's the whole point of having 7 maps in the pool. You can't choose a map more than once.
All right, give me 1 sec.
Okay. So while he does that, I'm AC, that's Red Mage JR. This is the IG Alpha Divisional number 7, brought to you by itsgosu.com, and of course brought to you by our sponsors, Hypocrite Games, Cyberground.us, Max Integration, and Son Yamabushi Jujutsu in combination, Goju Ryu School of Self-Defense. You can check them out at sonyamabushi-goju.com. So thanks so much for hanging out with us in the stream, guys. It's a pleasure to be here with you. Don't forget, we still got that contest going on. Hopefully you're listening in for our movie references. I know there were at least a couple there in that last game. Contest is real simple. All you have to do is listen into the movie references Red Mage and I make throughout the evening. As soon as you think you've identified 3 of the movies we've referenced, just jot them down, send them and your Justin.tv screen name, and you have to be a follower of us on Justin TV as well. But send your Justin.tv screen name as well as the 3 movies you think you've heard us reference throughout the evening. We've referenced more than 3, but we're only asking 3 of you. And if you're right and you happen to be a follower, we're going to go ahead and put your name into the hat for a drawing for a very, very special edition pack of Magic the Gathering Planeswalker cards, the wholesale price of which is $15 a pack. They're going to go for more than that online, so even if you're not a Magic the Gathering fan, you can just resell those. Or, maybe you can use that as your springboard into trying to get into Magic the Gathering. So, pretty simple stuff. But, VP, that looked a lot more like the VP Minotaur we know and love.
Oh, yeah, this, hopefully coming into this matchup, we'll see a little bit more of that aggression like we did this time. Minotaur's really got to come back, and I'm sure Zerg is going to try to do a little bit more, unit building as opposed to a lot of drone building.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And again, Zerg's strategy, I think, in that last game was sound. But I think the problem is that his strategy, he missed the timing. I've said that 3 or 4 times now, but there is a certain timing whenever you're going to go with that roach-heavy build into Hydra where you're going to be at a distinct advantage, and it's right in that little gulf in between the switch between gateway units and the Colossus. And as soon as he knew that his opponent was up on that 3rd Nexus or taking that 3rd Nexus, that's the time to hit, because he's delaying the Colossus tech while you have time to continue to macro up and tack on those roach numbers. So, cost him that game, but Zerg seems to be a very strong player, the kind of guy that's going to do well, and I'm sure he's not going to sit on his laurels. Pretty sure he's going to learn from that mistake and try to do better here in this second game.
Oh yeah, Tal'Darim Altar is probably the best place for Zerg Bonjour, because he's going to be able to take a lot of expansions very, very quickly. I know in the previous round, when he was on this map, he spread like a fiend. He literally spread like a Zerg should spread, and just completely went all over the place with not only with the creep, but with his expansions. He was on the map, getting a lot of map control,
right,
and doing a really good job at that. So I think he's going to have a little bit more of a sedated stance, I think, on this one, because he's going to be able to get up those hatcheries so quickly. And really be able to do a whole lot of what he's good at, that massive macro style.
Right.
And I think Minotaur is gonna have to, really, just like you said, he's gonna have to work on his strategy. I think one base Protoss right here could do an absolutely devastating amount of damage here if he times it right.
Well, one base Protoss against Zerg, it's so all-in-ish. I mean, if you go for a 4 Warp Gate against a Zerg, under any circumstances, if you miss it, even by a little bit, you lose. I mean, there's no bouncing back, there's no transition. If you go for a 3-gate robo timing push early on, either you win immediately or you lose immediately. There's just no way to bounce back. So, we see the Forge going down the pylon out front, so he's not going to be one-basing. Looking to do a Forge fast expand on this map in particular, but on all maps. And I harp on this so much on Protoss players, just because I think a lot of players avoid it because it's a different play style than most Protoss are used to. But if you're going to Forge fast expand, you need to go Forge, Gateway, Cybernetics Core, Stargate immediately. And people neglect just how dangerous that fast Stargate can be off of a Forge fast expand, because you actually can support a Stargate and some gateways and tech. And it's like, if you have a chance to get in and use just Phoenixes, don't even worry about Void Rays, but just use Phoenixes to snipe down Overlords, and you hit a critical mass of Phoenixes, there's almost nothing your opponent can do to deal with it except try to counter push you in an all-in push himself. So I'd like to see something like that on a Minotaur this time around.
Right, get something just a little bit more, I guess cooler, or a little bit more, standard, I guess would be.
Well, it's something.
Would that be a little bit more standard?
Well, it depends. It's a very Korean style of playing, and you don't see it a lot on the North American ladder. At least not as much as I think you should. But I would call that much more finesse. It takes more finesse to execute that, as opposed to I'm just going to get my Forge, then my Gateway, then my Cybernetics Core, then 5 gateways and a Robotics and Colossus. That's just a very put your head down and run through a wall sort of a build. It's just like, this is what I'm going to do. It's straightforward, and I'm just going to sit back and put together my Colossus Death Ball and not try to do anything to throw off my opponent. And, you and I have been harping on it. Doing that to a Zerg is dangerous as hell.
Oh yeah, and we see that he was trying to do a little bit of the early Zerg aggression there, going to the cross spawn positions with those 4 Zerglings, and he's coming to find out that he's gone the wrong way twice, and now he's going to have to take even longer to get back. That gave Minotaur plenty of time to throw down another pylon and get in that photon cannon.
Well, I think what he was doing there was trying to scout around for any sort of nonsense, hidden Dark Templar.
Hidden jargons.
Yeah, stuff like that. Trying to find any pylons in case there was an impending warp gate rush or, what have you. But, sometimes you got to be safe. Just because you spot the Forge out front does not mean that you're going to see a fast expand. He could just put the Forge there and then try to wall in like this and then hide a couple of gateways in the back and still try to throw a delayed 4 warp gate at you. So, Zerg playing so smart, taking that 3rd expansion just immediately, so fast. Actually doing it before he gets his Roach worn up. That's actually faster than he's done it the last 2 games. So it seems like he's getting very comfortable with his opponent's playstyle. Every time we watch him, he's tweaking little things. And tweaking last time, I think, cost him a little bit. He seemed to hang back a little bit too long for his own good, but I really don't think he's going to make that mistake again.
No, I think you're absolutely right about that, AC. Taking that 3rd and everything like that, he's definitely going to get aggressive. And I like that. I like that out of Zerg Bonjour.
Oh yeah.
I'm just saying Bonjour.
With the big A.
Is the Zerg.
With the big
A. So yeah. Well, we have to find our little enjoyments here and there. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. Our little pleasures.
Our little pleasures. We like doing kind of crazy kind of wild things. And
we're gonna see 6 gateways out of Minotaur, by the way. So 6 gateways. Well, you can support this off of 2 bases very easily. That's not the problem. But 6 gateways are not necessary unless you're intending to get out and do a push soon. It's not the best call in the world to go straight up to 6 gateways just as your second Nexus is trying to get saturated. Instead, I'd like to see 4 or 5 gates plus a robo plus a support bay, or a robotics facility, I guess you should say. I'm going to be calling it the support bay till the day I die, so people just have to deal with that. But because it even looks the same, man. But anyway, Minotaur getting his sentries out. Good call there. Going to use his sentries to defend. And I'm a little anxious to see what he's planning to do. Is he going to forego the immediate tech route, or is he going to Is he going to forego the immediate tech route and try to get aggressive soon? He's got a probe moving out, so yep, he's going to plant a pylon. So looks like he's going to be trying to hit one of these funky timing pushes where you throw down just enough gateways as you can support. He's actually going to take a third as well. And now, see, this is the way to do it. If he wants to take a third and to try to out-expand or stay a base ahead or even in bases with a Zerg player, you need to do it this way. Don't do it behind, trying to do everything at once. Either tech and stay on 2 bases, or throw down units, gateways like this where you can make cheap expendable units like stalkers and sentries, and try to defend while you take your third. But before, he kind of hamstrung himself by trying to do too much at once, and that doesn't seem to be his problem this time around.
No, yeah, it definitely seems to be a lot more in control of his economy, his army. He did lose that Ford pylon and that Ford probe, so he is going to have to. That's great, Ford probe.
Very nice.
I like that. And so now he's going to have to redeploy yet another probe and another pylon there. So great job there. They're coming back up with that, hitting that Zonaga tower. Make sure there's nothing surrounding him, going to flank him, and now we see the force that Zurich has there, way at the top of the ramp, trying to spread that creep as best he can, but it's getting caught in the open.
Oh, yeah, these sentries are going to be essential in this attack. Not the best force fields in the world. Actually really missed those quite badly. And I have no idea why he did that one again. That doesn't make any sense to me at all. I guess he wanted to kill the... I guess he's just trying to take pot shots. He's not really looking to engage, just trying to take damage as he can. Now he's going to cut those roaches in half pretty well, though, so he's going to be able to clean up the front half of these roaches. Needs to pull these stalkers away from the spine crawlers. Manages to get them out of there. Now doing a little bit of that walk-and-shoot micro. Doing a pretty good amount of damage here. And Zerg, though, doing a pretty good job holding off. Now the question is he going to continue to push, or is he just going to walk back home and say that's the day? Right now he needs to push, I think. He's behind in supply. That's kind of how he's been the entire time. Just a little bit behind in workers, but behind enough for it to count. So he's going to need to make up his mind. If he's going to push, he needs to do it now. If not, he needs to run back home and start to tech and get to the Colossus. Looks like he's... Oh, yeah. Is he going to do both at once? Don't do that, Minotaur. That's how you got in trouble last time. He's getting the robotics facility up back home and tacking on the Twilight Council, so definitely getting a tech path going. And I guess just wanting to stay active on the map. The one thing he's changed up this time that I like a lot is the last time he took that third, he kept his army back in his natural and didn't move out and apply any pressure at all. Now he's using aggression to secure himself the ability to take these expansions. So he's forcing the roaches to react now. Not the best force fields in the world again. It's all right, though. He's got a pretty high stalker count. Stalkers do that extra damage to armored units. He's overthinking it. Just stand and fight. It kills me to see Protoss players do that when they should just let their stalkers stand and fight. They tend to want to pull him back. He manages to target fire down that hatch. Now he wants to run back home as those broodlings chase him all the way down to the bottom of this ramp. But very effective attack and retreat tactics here out of Minotaur, playing much more solid this time around.
Oh yeah, and that really would have gone well if he had if he had a secondary pylon there just below the tree there in the natural, and done that, drawn the entire army out, and then warped in a couple of units right there, gone right into the middle line, even because he can go right around all those spine crawlers for the most part, and really split that army in half, and that would have been a great way to not only add aggravation, but also completely exhaust his opponent macro-wise, because he wouldn't have been able to micro all those roaches around, wouldn't have been able to get around all those force fields because he would have to keep going back and forth. So
right.
Little things like that can make a huge difference in making your opponent think that you are just a total a-hole right. in doing things. And I'm all about my opponent thinking I'm a total a-hole when I'm doing like 2 or 3 different drops if I can pull it off. Again, this is a bronze player trying to get all cute and fuzzy when I can't even get my supply block issue taken care of. But the little things like that are what can really set your opponent off his desired build order.
Right, something I'm not a big fan of at all that Minotaur's done is he's given up map control now. He's withdrawn his entire force back. These roaches are going to be able to move down and kill off these pylons. He's basically just sacrificed these pylons for no reason, and now Zerg has not only supply blocked him, but he's actually given up map control. Why would you do that? You fought hard, you took out the third expansion, you've got your opponent hemmed up in his base. Why give up map control just to have that safe feeling because your stalkers are sitting back between the bases? I mean, yeah, it's like I get it. You don't want don't want to lose your base to a sneak runaround. You keep that from happening just by having good unit spread and maintaining map control. Now Zerg gets to take a fourth base uncontested. There's no way VP Minotaur can attack this. There's no way he can spot this or know what's happening. And it just Minotaur was doing such a good job being aggressive and staying out on the map and making use of his units, and he gave it all up, and now he's lost another pylon and his opponent's up on a fourth. I just don't get it.
Yeah, he was up on a fourth, getting ready to take a fifth of that. There was one lone stalker kind of hanging out at the bottom right-hand corner there, and spotted him doing it and was able to cause the cancel and then take out the drone. So, otherwise we would have had a hidden base down here in the bottom right. But yeah, I'm right there with you. Zerg's now able to again start dictating the pace of the match. He's up at 67 harvesters right now, 71 harvesters for Minotaur. That's too many.
Right.
That is, again, that's way too many. Their income is not enough to really warrant them to have that many harvesters.
Right. Well, at this point, this is kind of that funny timing again when Zerg's going to want to push. Only one Colossus out right now. Very one-dimensional mix here by Minotaur. Just a lot of Stalkers with some light Immortal and Zealot. And maybe a couple of sentries in there support. But if he's going to want to push, he's getting to that. There's that burrow. He's going to be super sneaky. And I guess just screw around, actually. He's just clicking in circles right now. But, this is when he wants to hit. He wants to hit, and there's no real way for him to know this. He hasn't scouted it. But maybe his game sense is tingling. Now that second Colossus joins the mix. 2 Colossus is about the max you want your opponent to be able to get up on in a ZVP. Much higher than that, and all of a sudden the AoE damage just gets to be so high. But he's going to try a little trickeration and strategery here, sneaking the roaches burrowed all the way up here. They're going to be spotted immediately by this photon cannon line, though, so not going to be the best attack path. He's going to react very quickly. Actually, he decides he wants to go for it. He's going to move right in, try to take down all of these cannons. We're going to see the army pulling back now of Minotaur, and Zerg, and I guess not the worst move in the world, at least keeping his opponent on his feet. He only lost a handful of roaches there, but continues to have map control, and I'm still mad at Minotaur for giving that up so easily for no real reason.
Oh yeah, just there's no reason to back all the way up to your base. Hang on to a Zelnaga tower or something. Do something in the middle of the map, because once you go all the way back to your base, you can get pinned in very, very easily. And that is not something you want to do, even on a map the size of Tal'Darim, because again, the more you hold back, the more your opponent has time to spread. And we see, that Zerg's already taking yet another base. He's probably going to go down and take those other 2 in the bottom left, and pretty much everything on the left-hand side of the map is going to be all his.
Right.
And then it's just going to give him plenty of time to continue to burrow and just do what he wants. And even if you wipe out every single one of his units, he'll be able to remake them 8 times faster than you will.
Oh, exactly. He's up to that 4 Colossus count. He's tacked on the Void Ray, so a very scary ball here. It's actually going to walk right out in front here. Does he have an observer? Yes, he does. He's going to spot it. He manages to take out 2 of the infestors right off. Oh, wow. Zerg kind of falling apart here. Don't know what he was doing. Stayed burrowed way too long. Lost a lot of his army. Wow. Really falling apart there. This entire army is going to be melted because half of it, Zerg was upset there. He quitting without the GG. He had to know that he really screwed the pooch there. That's all on him. Lost half of his army just by moving around underground while he was spotted. So it looks like he's going to be down 2-1. Minotaur 1 win away from securing his 3rd consecutive Alpha Divisional crown here in our IG Alpha Divisional number 7, brought to you by itsgosu.com.
Absolutely, right there, AC. Go to itsgosu.com, see all the upcoming games and events that we have going on. We do want to wish everybody good luck this weekend. If you're going to be going to MLG, I know Lucky Fool was in the chat just a second ago. So we definitely want to congratulate everybody that's going and wish everybody the best of luck. And don't forget that we're still going to be up at Cybergrounds Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We're going to be hooking up a bunch of TVs. So for those of you who don't feel like spending the $10 to see the busted cast or the busted casting at MLG, feel free to come on by Cybergrounds.
Right.
Pretty much free of charge. $1 or $2 donation to Cybergrounds would be fantastic. We're going to be there. We're going to pay for the HD passes all weekend long. And so just come on down and hang out with us. They've got plenty of sodas and chips and stuff like that there, so you'll be able to kind of hang out on the couch all day long and watch the MLG game. So that's going to be something exciting that we're doing this weekend up there. I know I'll be there. I don't know if Mr. Mini will be there, and I'm probably sure. I'm pretty sure that you'd like a weekend at home this week, AC.
Oh, come on, man. Hey. Don't worry about it, bro. I love you guys. Love Cyberground, the Nerd Opium Den. I love it there. And more than anything, I love StarCraft, man. I love everything about it. I love the people, the players, the events, the nerd sweat, which is pouring off of me because my air conditioner is still busted. You just gotta love everything about it. So we're counting down VP Minotaur and Zerg Bonjour here in our game. This is game 4, and VP Minotaur leading 2-1, one win away from winning his 3rd consecutive title. This is the IG Alpha Divisional number 7, brought to you by itsgosu.com, and of course brought to you by our sponsors: Hypocrite Games, Cyberground.us, Max Integration, and San Yamabushi Jujutsu and Combination Goju Ryu School of Self-Defense. You can find them online at sanyamabushi-goju.com. So we're going to be jumping right into the action here. And Minotaur, he really kind of got rolled in that first game by Zerg. Zerg looked so strong. Minotaur kind of clawed his way back in, made some mistakes in the second game, but was able to hold it together. Now in that third game, he just looked really in control. I mean, he made some mistakes, gave up map control when I don't think he should have. But in the end, really, not to take anything away from Minotaur. Again, I just said he was playing so strong and looked strong. But Zerg really lost himself that last game. He just really messed up taking control of the army and trying to react to the fact that everything that was burrowed was spotted. And, I don't blame him. I don't think he was BMing Minotaur at all with the no GG rage quit. I think that was just more of a frustration at himself quit.
Oh, yeah, and, that definitely is just a frustrating thing when you know that you're so much better than you are, and then you keep screwing up something and it costs you the game. Yeah, you're absolutely just frustrated with yourself. And they were saying in the It's Goes Through chat, good game to one another, and so that was good that the two of them are respectful enough of each other to know that. And Zerg, I think this time is going to come back. He's going to pay a little bit more attention to his army, and I think we're going to see a really good match right here in game number 4.
No, I'm right there with you. I mean, it's going to come down to how Zerg reacts to that. If he goes on tilt here and tries to do too much too quick, he's really going to be breaking from what has got him to this point. Playing solid, playing patient, and hitting his timings. And his sense was somewhat on last time around. He just picked the wrong spot to attacking into that cannon line. Then the Colossus count got a little bit too high. There's no way to know how it would have come out otherwise because he did have the infestors, but just losing literally half of his army because he didn't unburrow them. And I think he just got in a hurry. He thought he hit the unburrow button and then went to hit attack move, and instead he just moved them literally underneath the Protoss army that just demolished half of them in one gigantic volley without a single unit taking any sort of a hit. So if he can just put that out of his mind and play his game, he's going to be in good shape to try and tie things up 2-2.
Oh yeah, and just for the new viewers in the chat, we are running a contest. I know there was a couple of questions. Yeah, we're running a contest, a daily giveaway for a pack of special edition Magic the Gathering cards in the Planeswalker series. They were only available in 2010 at the New York Comic Convention up there, and the way that you win that pack of Magic cards is throughout the stream. AC and I reference a bunch of movies. All you have to do is guess 3 movies and send that to contest, and send your guesses to contest@itsgosu.com. Make sure to include your Justin TV nickname there, because you have to be a follower. That's really the only stipulation of the contest is you have to get the 3 movies correct, and just give us your Justin TV ID tag there, and all the winners will be placed in a hat, and we'll randomly select a winner for the pack of Magic cards. So that's really all you have to do. And the good thing about it is, even if you don't get to watch us live, if you're watching us on the replay or watching the VODs, you have till 3 a.m. the following day, the following morning, Eastern Standard Time to submit your guesses, to submit your email to contest@itsgosu.com. We want to make sure that everybody on the East Coast, West Coast, and internationally really has an opportunity to try to win these Magic cards. They are super, super cool. Like I said, they were only available in one location with these particular packs. And they sold for about $15-$20 a pack. I know some of the rare cards, the super rare cards that you can get in these packs, eBay for about $120 a piece.
Oh yeah, so we were joking around about it. The way to look at them is, it's like, even if you're not into Magic cards, you can always resell them. And if that's your concern, if you're just thinking about monetary gain, look at them as like a scratch-off ticket that you can buy, or compete to win, I should say, that is guaranteed to give you at least $15 and may give you up to $150-$200 if you're really lucky. So. We hope everybody competes. How many have we referenced, Red Mage? Again, you're the guy who kind of keeps track of that sort of thing.
Oh, we've hit about 8 tonight so far.
8.
So tonight's one of the average nights where we're not. I know the first night that we did 17, and we had a lot of people get a lot of right answers pretty quickly because there were several. And then the second time we did it, we did about 6 or 7. So we only had about a dozen people go for it, and
right.
And now today we're down about 8. So we're going to average about 8 to 12 each time. So you really have to pay attention to some. Some of them are a little bit more
obscure,
noticeable than others, and some of them are really obscure. Now the other big thing you have to watch out for is if AC or I say the name of the movie, it doesn't count because it means that we're making a point
or making a joke. We're making a joke and not an intentional reference.
Yeah, not an intentional reference. But sometimes we'll say things like Scotty beam me up or whatever, and we all know that that's Star Trek. So if we say something like that, again, that doesn't count because I said the name Star Trek.
Right, we identified it immediately. So it looks like Zerg's going to move out with a lot of these speedlings. He's going to try to apply some early pressure here. Minotaur really in position to deal with this quite well. He's got plenty of sentries. He's got a cannon. That one cannon, one cannon really. Oh wow, he's actually tacked on the roaches here too. So this is a very, if you'll excuse the expression, a very Korean response to this expansion, this century expand, and this is how we saw things play out in the GSL May final. So the Zergling's going to get in. The cannon goes down. The Zerglings are going to be fairly free to run in as soon as those force fields dissipate. The Roach is continuing to go to work. He needs to be focus firing down on this pylon and doing what damage he can instead of forcing the issue over there on the right, where he's not going to be able to get all the damage in he can. Now pulling the Roaches over, going to work on that Stalker. Now it's not the best control here, to be honest, out of Zerg. It's kind of a Chinese fire drill at the moment. The probe's being pulled off. Minotaur looks to be like he's going to be able to handle this, but there are more units streaming across the map, so Zerg is going to continue to pour the pressure on. The Zerglings need to get into bigger numbers than that. Just a handful of Zerglings can really just maul Stalkers, but they got to be in decent numbers. 4 of them going to die very, very soon. The Roach count back up to 7, going to continue to push. Zerglings move again, going to pick off 1 or 2 probes. These 7 Roaches going to continue to go to work now. Needs to make up his mind what he wants to target. He's doing way too much thinking. He's spending more time walking around than he is firing, and it's really costing him pretty badly in this aggression. Minotaur able to replenish himself. He's got an Immortal on the way. As soon as that Immortal arrives, it's going to change the complexion of this entirely. It looks like, I'm going to say, Zerg's probably not going to come out too well here. He had a shot, but I really think he overthought it. He tried to do too much too soon. And that's going to be so incredibly costly there for Zerg. And, watching this right now, you say, oh, this is just some early aggression. But what tends to happen is this is when the Zerg player should be droning up, and instead he's been making a lot of attacking units. He's beginning to drone back up now, just now getting the layer tech up. But he's way behind in the tech battle. Layer not even, just now beginning, while in the meantime his opponent's already up to a robotics facility. Going to be able to throw down the support bay whenever he chooses. And Zerg's going to have to do something real kind of unorthodox. Maybe a Baneling drop or a Nidus Worm or something to get himself back into this. Otherwise, the gulf between him and his opponent is just going to widen every minute that goes by.
Oh, yeah, I'm right there with you. He was just kind of throwing units all over the place, just kind of not really target firing anything. He was trying to hit the forge, then he was trying to hit the pylon, then he was trying to kill off he did a great job target firing down the photon cannon, but honestly, he could have just taken him in that pylon and completely bypassed the auxiliary probes in the natural there and gone right into the into the main. But yeah, it just looked like he was just throwing units and making them okay, go crazy, go over there. It's
right.
Like,
it was an A move situation where A moving there cost him that. If you're going to move in, when you engage in small packs of units like that, you have to control them correctly. And Zerg, I really think, just fell apart there. He tried to A move in. He felt like he had the advantage, and he did have the advantage there for a while. He threw away way too many units trying to crack that right side and break into the mineral line whenever those sentries were able to just force field forever. And now it looks like Minotaur, he smells blood in the water, and he smells it justifiably. It's right now he's not a huge threat to Bonjour. Bonjour has hidden a third hatchery, by the way. It's just about to finish at the 12 o'clock position. That's going to be his gambit to try and pull himself back into this matchup. If he can get that up and mining while his opponent assumes he's ahead, that's going to be his chance to pull himself back into this. But he's going to have to survive the aggression first. He's got the spine crawlers and a good number of Zerglings, but again, it's going to come down to control. Can VP Minotaur finish this off and win his third consecutive Alpha Divisional? Here we go. Going to push in. Good force fields going off. Going to cut off a lot of those Zerglings from getting in and trying to get this around on the units. The Roach is continuing to fire from a distance, but just dying so quickly. Those Immortals doing massive damage. Now he's getting into the hard part of this push. He's got to push past the spine crawlers. More Stalkers being warped in from those pylons in the back. Minotaur pulling back for a moment, and again, both players have been guilty of this tonight. If he's going to pull back, he needs to pull back and regroup, not pull back and then decide to re-attack. That's just wasting firing time. The Roaches in such small numbers now, down to just 6, trying to hold the line, and I think this is going to be it, Red Mage. I don't think Zerg's going to be able to beat this back.
I don't think so either. Now he has access to the ramp, and that's going to be absolutely it right there. If he can push up that ramp, he's completely walled that off right now. So all the reinforcements there, and there's the GG by Zerg Bonjour.
So VP,
and that's gonna make Minotaur our three-peat winner now.
Oh yeah, he's won 3 in a row. This is just for him. A little Rocky song action. Congratulations to VP Minotaur. He's used to this by now, hearing me talk about him. VP Glee, as we so lovingly call him. The guy's won 3 in a row. He's really just tears through these Alpha Divisionals, looking for a challenger. So guys, if you happen to be bounced out this week, come back next week. Tell your friends, get them involved. VP Minotaur, we love you, but damn it, dude, it's time for you to lose. Hope we have a much bigger field next time, and I look forward to seeing him get his ass kicked with all the love in the world, might I add.
That's right. We do appreciate everybody for coming out and participating tonight. We want to wish everybody good luck this week at the MLG, and we'll see everybody tomorrow for the Omega Divisional Tournament number 7. And again, don't forget about all the contests that we are having here for the Magic Card giveaway. Go ahead and rewatch the VODs if you missed any of the movie references that AC and I did. All you have to do, again, is just submit 3 guesses along with your Justin TV tag to a contest at itsgosu.com, and just make sure it's none of the movies that AC and I have referenced by name, and you can win yourself some limited edition Magic cards for the Planeswalker series, courtesy of our martial arts sponsor.
Oh yeah, guys, it's been a fun night. Red Mage, again, another successful Alpha Divisional. We've got the Omega Divisional tomorrow night, so guys, make sure you tune in for that. We're going to be giving away more of those special edition Magic cards, and of course, bringing you some of the best StarCraft on the web. Go ahead and hit follow, hit like, hit tweet, do what you can. That allows us to make our sponsors happy to give you guys more stuff. Until next time, I'm AC, that's Red Mage JR, and this has been the IG Alpha Divisional number 7, brought to you by itsgosu.com, brought to you by our sponsors, Hypocrite Games, Cyberground.us, Max Integration, and San Yamabushi Jujutsu in combination, Goju Ryu School of Self-Defense. Red Mage, my friend, I'll see you tomorrow night.
Have a good night, AC. We'll see everybody tomorrow.